Oh boy, Jeffrey. Good morning there, son. What's going on?
Morning. Yeah, we had some sunshine late afternoon yesterday, a little sunshine this morning. And it's all just a big tease because we're going to have rain late this afternoon.
What is with this Michigan thing, man? I thought, like, the summers I heard were supposed to be, like, fantastic, incredible there. Well, I guess if you're into anything other than lawn tennis.
That's right. But it is, it is what it is. So, I'm sure it'll shift at some point. And in the meantime, though, I'm having a great time.
It's good.
Still, I'm really happy to be here.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, good for you. Well, listen, guys, today we got a topic. I don't know what it is. Jeff said he's got something teed up. He wants to get off his chest. And before we dive into that, just a quick reminder that we are still offering a free private 10-minute coaching call on the phone, the three of us, you, me, and Jeff. All we ask is, because it is only 10 minutes, is that you bring the number one thing in your game right now that is kind of just working its way and giving you that little headache. Yeah. And let's see if Jeff and I can't help put you on a path to get the result that you want, whether it's singles and or doubles. A way to get on that free private 10-minute coaching call, go over to goalballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, click the button, and you will, lo and behold, through the magic of something, coding, I guess, you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler where you can pick your own date and time that works best for you. If you're already on our email list, thank you very much. Well done. Any of the emails that we send out, there's a link in there somewhere that will...
Somewhere.
You got to hunt around a little bit. You got to figure it out. Go find it.
Just touch the buttons.
And you'll get access to the scheduler. So, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Lay it on me. What's on your mind?
Well, watching again, I'm watching, some of the Halle and, Stuttgart last week and, some of the pre-Wimby warm-ups. And it's a little more prevalent. I think it's easier to see a little bit on the grass than it is sometimes on hard court for sure. Clay speaks for itself. But the idea is this, is like, how many points are you losing because you're hedging your bet about taking the next position? We've talked about establishing your position on the court, and when you don't do that, you kind of allow your opponent to have that little extra bit of swing freedom because they don't feel the angle being squeezed a little bit. They don't feel the line being squeezed a little bit, so they kind of swing the racket freely because there's no one there kind of disrupting their focus on the ball, and I've always found that that the commitment, I'm a California-raised hard court serve and volleyer, and over the years I've had to make that adjustment because I'm not the fastest horse in the barn anymore, and so I still do it. You still do it, dubs, obviously, that kind of thing. But I found that when you establish position, that is like it's the final key in playing an aggressive game. Is that taking that position and not fearing the fact that the guy just hit the most unbelievable forehand he's ever hit in his life, a quarter-inch wide. I don't fear that. I see that as that I did my job, and he tries to squeeze it. Even though he hit it pure and beautiful, he decided he needed to squeeze the edge a little bit, and I'll roll the dice on that all day long. And I think, our league players and even gold ballers out there, some of them, it's always trying to hedge the bet, like, how do I cover as much court as possible? And on the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, where's your commitment to making the play and making the other player come up with the goods? So what do you think about that?
I think that's a really good point, Jeff, and there's no question. I've always believed that court positioning, I wish I could come up with a better term, a little bit more descriptive term for that, but basically court positioning is where you are on the court as your opponent's about to make contact with the ball that you just sent over there. And you can turn that into a strategy. You don't have to be a great quote-unquote shot maker to be able to win points. In fact, you can challenge your opponent by always being in the right place at the right time. And for me, what that means is the threat of, number one, robbing them of time, and number two, of actually robbing them of time. And so,
yeah, well, that's true.
Right. So to me, that is like, that's like a major strategy that I don't think many guys really, talk about. Many teaching pros or coaches, maybe at some levels they do, but I think in senior tennis especially, that if you embrace fitness not as a thing for just being quick or not as a thing for just endurance, but if you embrace quickness, if you embrace fitness as a way to, over a 2.5 hour or longer match, consistently put yourself in the right place at the right time, then you know what? You are going to force that opponent over there, as you said, maybe to hurry up their swing, because you've just played a ball back to them. They know that you're trying to get into a challenging court position for them. And that and all that may just be a way that forces them into bad stroke technique, into bad stroke mechanics. Right. And so, it's one thing to say this in terms of a strategy, a theoretical strategy. It's another thing for us, and this is maybe a course that we should be thinking about all on its own, is taking some video of some senior matches and forget stroke technique. Just totally forget it, but absolutely cherry pick a few points where we see the guys or gals doing what we just talked about. Court positioning. Think about court positioning in terms of, boy, these 3 or 4 points were absolutely dead on and perfect in terms of court positioning, and we can see the result. And then on the flip side, show that, hey, you hit a good shot, but you didn't do the second part, which is now put yourself into the court position that would actually maybe make this guy or gal rush, and show them where that spot on the court should be.
Yeah, completely. I totally agree with you. And that brings up the other part of, like, how does this actually evolve when you're playing, right? How does it actually evolve that you're not doing that court position, and it's fear based? She has a great lob, he has a great this, or whatever the anticipated shot or outcome that your opponent is going to hit. So we end up not actually committing to the approach or the heavier forehand or whatever it is, committing to that offensive ball. And we're not talking about hitting winners here. We're talking about inflicting pain. So because we're anticipating that when I do this, they're going to do this, because they always hit this really great lob when, blah, blah, blah. And what is the blind spot is that you're pulling up a little early on your own commitment to your own shot. So now your ball is not carrying the weight you were hoping it would. It's not as accurate as you were hoping it would be. And now you've predicted the future, and your worst nightmare is happening, that, oh God, here it comes again, right? The perfect lob from that position on the court and blah, blah, blah. So it is it's this fear-based start that actually ends up then, again, like I said, you become the prophet of your own demise, because it is happening and unfolding exactly the way you say it always does. But you have to realize you're the one who's actually predicting the future. You're the one who's actually setting that in motion, because, one, we didn't commit to the first aggressive shot, and 2, we didn't commit then to what the next place is I should go, to actually be a visual deterrent, a visual distraction for them focusing in and hitting that perfect lob or that perfect shot that they always hit. Yeah. So. Well,
no, that's right. And we talk a lot about stroke technique, and stroke technique is not a thing all to itself, in that it just, for me, I feel like a lot of stroke technique is based on, where do I want to move to next on the court? And so if I'm, for example, playing the slice backhand out wide, I'm going to play it spatial-wise away from the ball, setup-wise, in a way that I can most efficiently recover and get back to a core position that now challenges that guy. Hey, that was a nice shot you hit out here to my,
Right.
to my slice backhand. But guess what? I've feathered the thing back in a way that you now see before you hit the next shot. I'm in the perfect core position. So
Right.
to me, a lot of stroke techniques should be taught. That it's well, where do you want to move to next after you hit this shot? If you go out there wide and you're using stroke technique as if you're trying to play a passing shot, well, now what you've done is you've robbed yourself of time
Right.
to get back to the good spot.
Right.
So, well, listen, that's a great topic, Jeff, and I hope that we made a little dent on a few of our students today, or a few of our listeners or viewers, that this is an important thing, man. Core positioning, I want you to be thinking about it, is a strong strategy that works not only in singles but also in doubles. In doubles.
I mean, I never fear the guy that, comes up with a dinger early in the first set, passes me down the line, because I already know I'm taking a much more court-centric position. I mean, you've been on the court with me, and I tend to hang a little court-centric of the service box in my positioning, kind of just, and so I know I'm giving up quite a bit. But I do it as a big tease. Like, go ahead. Yeah, listen, I'm not paying attention up here. Go ahead. It'd be great. Right?
Oh, what a beautiful day. Oh, look at.
And
oh,
so
look
so when the guy hits it and he passes me, but he hits the line or he's just inside.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that because I know that's the margin he has.
Right.
Anything less than that, I've got my racket on it.
Well,
So,
and he realizes that as well. He may have just hit the line or just hit it inside, and he's going, oh, God, I'm not sure I can keep that going.
Well, surprisingly, a lot of guys don't have that thought. That's kind of what I like about it.
They think that they can.
They make it, and they think now that they own it today.
Right.
And then they miss the next 2 or 3, and I go, I'll just keep taking those odds all day long. You can have 1 to my 3 all day long.
Exactly.
So anyway, court positioning is that, and you just have to be aware of what it is. Like what effect is it actually having, is kind of the awareness you got to start to build.
Good stuff. Well, listen, guys, again, quick reminder, 10-minute free private coaching call with me and Jeff. Or is it Jeff and I? No, it's not. It's me. It's with me.
I and me?
No, if you weren't there, I would say free coaching call with me. Isn't that the way we do the grammar thing? So if you're not part of the deal, right? So a free coaching call with I. No. And I'm sure that we've got a lot of grammatical smarty pants who are either listening. So this would be one of the things that you could ask them in the outro here, what you want them to do. But anyway, guys, so again, the coffee's really kicked in all of a sudden.
There you go.
It's only 6:37 here in the morning, 6:32. 10-minute free coaching call, goballhunting.com. First name, email address, click the button, and you get access to our online calendar. We'd love to chat with you. Jeff, what would you like to find folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. Tell us how bad our grammar is.
That'll be a long comment. Guys, get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, you and me, you and I.
You and I.
We'll do this
Brent,
again tomorrow.
me and Brent, Jeff and Brent. Can't wait.
All right.